Is it so that we have free will? Or is it more of a flow? Is our willingness to do things just flow, and we allow the energy to flow? And if we were to say, or if one were to say, free will does exist, I can stop doing what I'm doing at any given moment. Maybe it's an illusion, almost like if free will were a type of energy, the doing of things in life were a constant flow of energy, kind of like water running through a river stream. As long as the water continues to flow, it'll filter out all of the toxins naturally. But when humans intervene and we contain water in water towers, in our plumbing pipes, all of these man-made structures and man-made materials, the water needs to be treated. It's no longer a natural process. So, free will being a choice, our choice to stop the flow, we're bound to build up toxins in our life if we stop the flow of where life wants us to go. And where life wants us to go is a very subtle thing. Because if your mind is racing, if your thoughts are racing, if you have all of this congestion built up in here, between our ears, it's really hard to decipher what the universe is trying to tell us. For me, I was diagnosed with ADHD from a very young age. When I think I was 8, and I was given Adderall and Strattera and some other pills to help me focus in class. But maybe class isn't where I needed to be. Maybe another way of going about it would be exploring my talents, my interests, whatever they were. But I'm not one to judge how my parents raised me, because things turned out how they did. And had they not turned out how they did, I wouldn't be making this video right now. And even making this video, did I choose to come out here and make this video? I'll tell you the truth, whether you believe it or not is up to you, but no. I woke up, I started my day today playing video games, and I hadn't been outside much, and around 3 o'clock I decided to 3:30 I decided to step away from the games, and I decided to go outside for a minute. And I laid down, but the sun was beaming down on my front porch, and it got hot, so I only laid down for about 15 minutes, I think, and then I sat up, and I realized I hadn't been drinking water. because my mind gets pulled into things. So my mind being pulled into the video games, is that more so my choice, or is that more life wanted me to flow that way, so later on I would feel the need to come outside for a little bit? And because the mind, the intellect, one of the lessons I've been given in my curriculum as a human being is to learn to focus. And I find that I can get off topic very easily. I become distracted. I'm watching birds dive down in the water right now. But I think that these distractions, some of them aren't so bad. Like when I'm outside, I see everything I'm missing. It's always been here. But somehow it's important to how I function in my day-to-day. And it's important I go for walks. It's important that I get outside and I, get this natural flow of energy. I find, going back to how free will is more of a flow of energy, like a river flowing. The more I resist the river, the more I resist the flow of life, where life wants me to go, but my mind's or ego is like, no, I don't want to do that. The more I resist it, the less at peace I am. And the more stress, and the more I feel I can't find contentment and be at ease. And there's things in life I have to go through, just like everybody else, that are stressful, that are, nowadays the only stressful thing in my life is work. We had a bunch of people quit, and it's like, go, go, go. But the managers are doing their best, getting other people to handle the duties and stuff like that. So they're not trying to put all the workload on us. Things happen. That's life. But I don't dislike my work. It is what it is, and some days I enjoy it because it gets me. If I'm inside for too long, if I'm playing video games for too long, and I'm not engaged in, the outside world in any shape or form, I become in a funk. It's real easy for me to get in a funk. And work is like kind of my social hour. It's also working, but it's also talking with my coworkers or manager or whoever, even if it's a brief 5-minute conversation. It's because when I'm home, it's real easy to live in imagination land. I'm surrounded by my toys. I carry them on me. This is Rillaboom, Latios, and then I have Talonflame, shiny Talonflame. So it's got the whole family of birds. I love my Pokemon. And another one I like this case. I call it my sun bag because it's orange. But I also brought Jolteon because I love these Pokemon, you know, and usually I carry 4 on me everywhere I go. Work, for a walk, to the grocery store, whatever. Sometimes I'll just carry 1 or 2, but lately I've been wanting to carry 4. And those are the 4 I've been sticking with. But life, I'm trying something different with these videos. I'm not really planning what I say. I'm also not planning when I make a video. I bring my phone out here because I had intentions of playing Pokemon Go. I actually came here because they were doing a raid hour, and I was gonna see if I could catch a shiny flower. And I was like, will I get a shiny? Will I get a shiny? And my mind was like, that dopamine trigger in my brain was excited. Wanted to get the shiny. But as I started walking, it transitioned to, well, if I don't get it, that's just as interesting as if I do get it. Because if I don't get it, I won't have that shiny, but I still have shinies on my Pokemon Go, like this one. I don't have shiny Talonflame yet, which is the bird. I really want this one, but I have this one on my Switch game, but not on Pokemon Go. I have this one on both my Switch and Pokemon Go. But on my Switch, I RNG abused to get it. So basically using a little bit of computer science and mathematics to get the shiny I wanted. But on Pokemon Go, I got one by chance. And the one on Go is more special to me. The bird that I have on the Switch, I got this on my Switch by chance. I was hatching eggs and it just happened to be shiny. So I didn't do anything special for that. And you know, like, those 2 shinies are among my favorites, like out of all my Pokemon. I actually did a cleanse. I deleted all my games and deleted all my Pokemon. And I did that to some other games too, like RuneScape. I didn't quit RuneScape, but I dropped everything except the most expensive armor and weapons. But inside my bank, or I sold some stuff, but most of it I just dropped because I didn't want to bother selling it. Bunch of skilling items and whatever, but I was playing too much RuneScape, and I was like, man, my bank has too many items. I'm not gonna use all this. It's gotta go. So I threw it all away, except for, you know, a couple of the weapons and armor. Yeah, because it was just too much, and I was like, and you know, that's one thing I noticed when I play games, like, not so much the Pokemon in the Switch games, because in the Switch games, it's easier to organize everything because it's more broad. You don't have ads. That's a good thing. But Pokemon Go, RuneScape, you know, those 2 in particular, it's too much. Like when I log in RuneScape, I have 5 ads pop up out of nowhere. There's probably like an ad blocker or notification remover. It's an MMO, so they do new things all the time, and it's what the company does to pull people in more and more. Pokemon Go, there's an event like every day. I remember when it first came out, there was only an event like once every couple of weeks, and then they're like, let's do two events every week, and then they're like, nope, that's not enough, let's do an event every day. And that's the mind not stopping. And you know, I don't think creativity is a bad thing. I really don't. I think creativity is a good thing, and we need something. Like, I need Pokemon to get through this life. I need it not in the sense of like, I need to be able to play the games. No. I've played the game so many times that I can like carry a Pokemon on me or use my imagination. If I don't have a physical thing, I can use my imagination, and my Pokemon are like alive and have personalities and all that stuff, nicknames, you know. I need that because it's my Jesus. It's my saving grace. It's my heaven. It helps me attain that heavenly state of consciousness. Because life is going to present me, just like everyone else, and already has presented me, with stressful times. And these creative things we do help us get through that. Not completely ignore it, because these stressful things present an opportunity to learn something. So it's not that it's about balance, right? You don't want to jump completely into escapism. But I think it's necessary to be able to escape. But you got to find the balance between how much time is necessary to devote to escaping and how much time is necessary to be doing other things. So the way my life is my balance is like work is where it's not something I'm going to go out of my way to do for fun. But it's a job I already know. I don't dislike the people I work with. It's got good benefits, and I don't have to work 5 days a week if I don't want to. I could live off of 3 or 4 days of working a week and then have the other days off to do whatever I want. Now, being part-time, you lose more benefits because of it, but it's a balance, Prior to stepping down to part-time, I worked full-time for 5 years, almost. And I went to school on top of that. I got my degree. I did the Army thing. I was in the Army for 7 years. So, now in my life, I just don't want unnecessary stress. Life is going to maybe prescribe me a situation that may be stressful, but I'm not going to go out of my way looking for it. Unless it's like physical activity, unless it's stress that's healthy for me. Like going to work, I would say is healthy for me. Now, if I were working 5 days every week for like 3 months, that's not healthy for me. That's not mentally healthy for me. If I were to run every day like I used to, that's physically not healthy for me. If I were to download dating apps and constantly seek a partner instead of just letting life choose my partner for me, if I'm destined to have a partner, that's not emotionally healthy. So mental, emotional, physical, all three of these, spiritual. If I'm constantly hitting the dopamine button, buying figures all the time, eating out, not watching my diet, not doing these things, spiritually, that's draining and not healthy for me. Not spiritually healthy for me. So spiritual, emotional, physical, mental, all four of these, life is about finding balance. And when you find that balance, tuning it, focus and work on maintaining the balance. You can't just be like, I found the balance, and then that's it. Like it goes on, the flow goes on, and sometimes the fluctuation, like, it'll expand, retract, So you gotta adjust these things. So free will, because I'm hitting 20 minutes, so I gotta wrap it up. But free will, I don't think is free will is not something you do. It's something that flows. It is not a single action made by the mind. It is the freedom to flow with life. That's what free will is. And it's important to have space in your life. It's important to have space to process what the universe is trying to tell you. If you're jumping from one thing to the next, you're back in the rat race. It's dopamine chasing after another. Whatever it is. I just want to add that. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe for more content. I'll be posting videos whenever, and yeah, I don't know how long they'll be, and I don't know what I'm gonna say. So, you know, it just is gonna be what it is. Whatever the universe wants me to say. Have a blessed day. Bye.